I have been bored with Overwatch lately. You may have been able to tell with my disappearance, but I felt my enjoyment with Overwatch has stagnated. I get on, I play the same heroes, see the same maps, play the same modes, and have the same experience. I didn't want to create videos when the game just felt stale. I wanted to do something else with my time, to change my experience and learn more about the game I've spent 7 years playing. I wanted to become the best Overwatch player I could be. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to play every Overwatch character for 24 hours and forge my crown as the queen of my own destiny and aim to make my own fun in this godforsaken game. I'll be able to play any character whenever I can need or want, and Blizzard can't stop me from enjoying it. Each time I will spin this wheel to decide my fate and play that character for 24 hours of in-game time. So let's dive into this journey together. Alrighty. We're gonna spin the wheel and see what we get for the first time. Let's spin the wheel. Are you ready? This is the hero I'm gonna have to play for 24 hours. I'm ready. Please be something good. Or bad, because that would be funny. No! Oh no, I don't like either! Oh. I fucking hate Mauga. Oh, I'm not a Mauga fan. Oh, this isn't gonna be fun at all. Let's go see how much time I have on Mauga. Let's see. Time played. All modes. Oh. This is gonna be so fun. I'm gonna have a grand old time. Subscribe to protect me from further suffering from the take roll. As you can see, I'm pretty new to Mauga. Of course, I've played against Mauga enough to know how oppressive he is in the hands of others, but what about in my hands? I started the first hour by diving into the training mode to learn more about the Polynesian powerhouse. He is a fundamentally simple character on paper: shoot gun, heal, never die, profit. But does especially well when a player fully understands his abilities and when to use them, like every character. Mauga's chain guns were the easiest part of his kit to grasp for me. Repeated hits with Gunny ignite the target doing dot damage, and hitting ignited targets with Cha-Cha deals critical damage. When fired together, they do way more damage, but the spray is imprecise, so it's best to do both in up-close situations. Alternating fire increases his effective range and makes him a decent threat to mid-range targets if your aim isn't stinky dishwater. The most challenging part of his weapons for me was managing his ammo and reload. Mauga's ammo count is 300 shared between both guns and depletes faster when spraying both. Regardless, it does last a long time. However, Mauga's reload is longer than it'll take to reach the heat death of the universe. When seen in a vacuum, it doesn't seem too long, but tell me that when you run into a full team of fuck you characters who want to finger your bumhole, and not so gently. Mauga relies on his damage to heal and keep him and his team alive, so getting stuck in a fight without ammo can easily lead to your team getting rolled over. It's important to be sure to manually reload before and after fights, and if you're the type like me who's a serial reloader in fights, kick that habit before a mercy boosted Bastion kicks you. Berserker, his passive, is a big part of his tankiness. You gain a temporary health while dealing critical damage. That's the green health stuff. So while you're spraying in a teamfight, if you're managing his weapons right, you'll become sponge. Cardiac Overdrive is the second part of his beefiness. It's also his team utility, since when it is used, you and your team heal while dealing damage and take reduced damage from the enemy pew-pews. Use this during engagements and teamfights to overwhelm the enemy and especially outlast them. Sometimes Overwatch is a war of attrition, especially in metas where Mauga is strong, which is like every meta now. His charge, Overrun, is pretty much where all of Mauga's skill expression lies. That statement is a bit misleading since it implies Mauga has skill expression, but still. It can, of course, be used to engage, deal a shit ton of damage, and even cancel ultimates and abilities if you hit that sweet spot. After a bit, you'll get used to it, but it can actually be pretty hard to hit. When you do hit it, it can be one of the most satisfying feelings in Overwatch, though. Another thing Overrun can help with is escape. Using it to get out instead of staying can be the difference between surviving and winning and being some extra ult charge. Finally, Cage Fight is his ultimate, and it traps yourself and enemies inside an inescapable barrier. It's also one of the weirdest ults of the game for me. Like, it has to be one of the most feast or famine abilities in the game. A well-timed and placed Cage Fight can win you the damn fight easy, but it up and you're gonna end up on 9 players avoid lists. It can be a really good ult to combo with, but you can feed so hard with it, it's insane. Even placing it in the right place can be the deciding factor in whether you win the fight or not, since if you place it poorly, the enemy team can just hide around terrain. I've had this happen so many times just because I placed it wrong. It also takes so long to place, so there are so many times that your ult just disappears like your dad does to go buy milk. I never really got used to his ult, especially since it also feels strangely buggy. Like, why do people sometimes start flying? Like, what is this? Where are they going? And it has weird interactions too, like in this clip. After getting used to his abilities, I finally sunk my teeth into the meat of this challenge and began to grind quick play. I wasn't going to be that guy who just jumps in a comp after a bit of training range and wanted to make sure I was very comfortable on Mauga before trying comp with him. After just a few games, how oppressive this character is became immediately apparent. so much damage. I found myself often being on top of the damage meters, if not most of the games I was in, and just rolling the enemy team. The speed in which I got used to him was kind of insane, and it set a trend of incredibly high win rates that stayed consistent for the entirety of this challenge. P.S. If you need to farm play the game clips, Mauga is an insane character to do so. I got so many throughout this whole thing. One thing I started to feel though is that sometimes your team utility is limited, and you can get into some annoying situations trying to help your team. Oh, girl, you are up there. Anna! Anna, know where you're going, girl! Anna, back up!
This ends now.
Stop that payload!
Wait, what the heck?
Anna, you gotta chill.
How did you cap?
They were behind us, Paws. I was trying to help you since you were frontlining.
I don't understand. How did they get behind us?
You were in their spawn. They went out the other door.
I'm sorry, my dad let me play this game. I didn't know they had another door.
Hey, that's fine, just chill a bit, lol.
After accidentally yelling at a child, I continued rolling, but the cracks in my morale towards this challenge have already started to show.
Well, that's over.
Couldn't keep up, could you?
Healing suck.
I duck if I die, heal or tank for at least a second LMFAO.
I never once had somebody defend healing for me. I mean, yeah, it was great, but I didn't expect them to be like, fuck me, heal or tank. Wow, thanks, man. I feel represented. I feel heard. No, I think the healers did fine. It's a cool play game. The fucking Sombra just rolled us. Like, what were we gonna do? We all know Counterwatch is a problem for sure, but you definitely feel it while on Mauga. This whole period of time was preparing me for comp by getting used to his counters. So many games on Mauga felt like I melted them all in one fight and immediately found half the team swaps to counter. But let's be honest, that's just the tank experience. I made one other video on this role and it was suffering then. I feel so bad for the people who aren't as confident on another role, so they just can't have fun at all. If only Blizzard would fix this very obvious and serious problem, huh? Well, I guess we got added to the list with some of the other issues going on. I will get into some of those later. Anyway though, Mauga counters. The most apparent counters right away were D.Va, Sigma, and Zarya. D.Va was one of the most annoying counters to me. Her matrix lasts so fucking long, so you're just spraying into the void for an hour if she's in front of you, so you watch as your soul wastes away and time burns from the everlasting nothingness of our reality. And unlike other characters, you can't just focus on another target till it ends, since it's so easy for her to switch it on a whim to another target. The cooldown allows D.Va to keep bringing it up regularly, so it's hard to melt her quickly. Sigma is also like D.Va in the sense that all of his abilities just shut you down, but I find the shield a little bit less annoying to both break and bypass. Ligma's kinetic grasp this sounds kind of weird when I say it out loud, I don't know why, can also be cancelled with overrun if you hit the sweet spot. I found him one of the easiest targets to hit with it, maybe because he's got that tank blindness, I don't know. Zarya was probably the least impressive counter in my opinion. If you've been playing Overwatch for a while, you already know how to wait out her bubbles, and if she's on her own or her team is down, you can just melt through her bubbles and kill her. Guaranteeing your team won't shoot her though is the issue.
Me.
Get ready for a fight.
Of course. Of course her bubbles were broken, and I didn't even fucking shoot her! Like, look at this. Come on, she is in the open! She can be scary when she's charged though, since it's likely she'll ignore you and go for your team and squishies. As a whole though, I found the best way to survive with these counters who could just shut down Mauga was to play more passive and capitalize on mistakes. Misplaced bubbles, Sigma placing his shield wrong, breaking his shield, using his abilities. All of these tanks have more tools to protect their team than you do. Cardiac Overdrive is powerful for sure, but not as much protection as a bubble shield or an eat all force field. I feel that is kind of the play when countered in general, to be honest. Otherwise, it's like running straight into a wall, like some Looney Tunes shit. The mirror match for Mauga is weird. Like, I saw it so much as well. People swapped to Mauga when they saw me doing well, but I don't know, I don't feel like it worked out for many of them much. It's as boring as dirt too, because both of you are unkillable, so it's endless spraying. I guess maybe do the other tank thing and focus on squishies and other targets when you can, and when you need to heal, I don't know, just... Junker Queen and Hog felt a bit more neutral to play against. Hog can be specifically scary because a decent one will pull you into his team or into a pit because you're very fat, and his ult can shred you pretty quick. Junker Queen's ult can also be scary, halting your lifesteal, but other than that, I find her abilities pretty easy to dodge and avoid. Narmacha and Winston can give you some issues by mitigating your damage, but get melted pretty fast, and you can dumpster ball and Doomfist. This may be a good way to vent your frustrations with these characters. You can just trap them with your ult and watch as the light and hope dies from your eyes and revel in their feeble mortal form, crumbling before you in a pile of melted scrap and ash. Thankfully, I was prepared for the counters I would face. I was prepared for Counterwatch going into it, and I was surprised of how quickly I learned how to deal with them. What I wasn't used to, though, was the psychological factors I would face with this challenge. This character makes me so toxic. Usually I try to be only defensively toxic, but I'll admit sometimes I struck first. I'll be the bigger person here, I screwed up. This is my apology to all the Overwatch players my comments may have affected. This is my YouTube apology. Jokes aside, I genuinely don't get like crazy. I don't tell people to KYS, just that they're weird. Because let's be honest, some Overwatch players need to be reminded of that from time to time. Help them reflect. It wasn't just me either, trust me. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get any good toxic player footage playing quick play, but I was very wrong.
Heals?
Yay, I'm working on it, Hanzo. Spam into them.
Heals though. When?
When you decide to stop charging in the enemy team 1v5.
Yeah, charging in 1v5 is my job.
Are you the one who asked when heals was? Also, no, it's not.
No lol. It wasn't me.
Skill issue.
Thanks for blaming me though.
right now,
Appreciate it.
This game is fun.
I thought heals was fine and Hanzo was the issue himself. But frick you blamed me.
Okay. My fault, you right. Y'all were bad.
Not you dipsh.
Of course. Now.
Why are y'all so mad?
Learn to
Support
read.
diff.
See, defensive. This guy blamed me, nor did he like my joke, and I wasn't even involved. This isn't the only toxic game either. There are tons of instances of games where people are being like weirdly toxic for no reason. Like some people just need a hug, man. 10 hours in, and the only word I could use to describe my experience at this point was exhausting. I was so tired, and I didn't even want to play anymore. But I was already invested, and I wasn't gonna give up. Not now. So what better to switch things up than to finally dive into competitive? I feel this is when I finally started to get this character.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack.
Oh, that's a big ante. Nice. While I felt I was rolling and storming my way through the ranks, things started to go really downhill for me, and fast. This whole hour was definitely the wall I hit. It wasn't even a downhill slope, it was a sudden change. I didn't even get a warning sign. It's just all of a sudden I was buried by a rock slide. Mind you, my win rate was still high. This is just when I started to feel the losses. This is also when I should mention, I don't like one-tricking. I know that's a weird thing to say 16 hours into a one-tricking challenge, but I wanted to do this challenge for a few reasons. I wanted to give my viewers both an educational and humorous look at what it's like to play these characters, and play these characters a lot. I also wanted to hyper-focus on characters to learn their ins and outs, and how to play them in situations they're maybe not the best. Obviously, certain characters are better to one-trick. You know the feeling, that sense of indifference when you find a one-trick of a certain hero, or you don't even notice because it's like a meta hero, and the sense of endless dread when there's a not-so-good character one-trick on your team. I personally think the best way to really improve and rank up is to focus on a small, focused pool of heroes. Maybe one primary hero swapping when you need to, especially as a tank. I wanted to change my experience with Overwatch, and just you wait, if I ever get through all of these fucks, I'll be able to play them all, and then you'll be sorry. Real talk though, Mauga in particular made me so uncomfortable while playing. Not that I felt uncomfortable with his kit or playing with him or anything. Trust me, at this point I was locked in. I knew what I was doing with this guy. It's just I genuinely felt so weird locking into just one dude who's not always the best option, you know? I thought it important to continue to show what it's like, because let's be honest, no matter what you play, you'll get hate and vitriol thrown at you like, come on, it's Overwatch. You can't avoid it. Sadly, the strengthened morale and refocusing on why I was playing did not save me from everything. This is when I decided to take a break from comp. The kicker for me was when I was finally about to get a win after a loss streak, and my team was doing pretty well. It was easily winnable until that cursed yellow text appears. The state of the game is so bad, not even Blizzard's servers want to continue. Like, come on! I decided to play Quick Play some more. I originally planned it to be a 2-hour break from comp, but when I dove back into comp after 2 hours, those games also just felt off. I decided to just play the mode that was more fun, especially since I enjoyed it more. I should say enjoy pretty loosely because I'm gonna be honest, I reached a realization at this point. I don't find Mauga fun. In general, if you see less comp footage and videos like this for other characters, it's probably for similar reasons. I can absolutely pull this dude out in any game I need or want for sure, and I'm sure I'd enjoy those games in small doses. I feel for anyone who actually only want to play this guy. Like, everyone always goes, oh, you say stuff like that, but you're playing Mauga. But dude, this shit sucks. It really does. Even a character like Mauga can't save you from the suffering of the tank role. I wrote tons of notes during this challenge. Each hour I wrote at least a couple points, but at hour 18 I just wrote, I'm so tired. Please free me from this character. So yeah, that tells you how I was feeling. I feel like I got in my head too much during this challenge. I wanted to make the video so good and just interesting and fun, and I think that I definitely have moments and clips that are fun. At this point, I was able to have a little bit of a reflection. I decided why I want to do this challenge, and it's to have fun. At the 20-hour mark, I was finally able to just let go of it all and embrace that fun. You can really tell this is when I started having fun, just from some of my blunders and clips.
You'll fall down. Get in there.
Try and stop me.
Okay, I'm starting to get a Kazoo Master.
For now.
That was the most primal reaction I think I've ever had to anything.
Over here.
Okay team, I'm doing a lot of work here and I'm not
Notice
getting
we
a lot
turned
of
around?
support.
Notice we turned around?
Hey,
We turned
what
around!
do we need? Hey, what do
We got them!
we need a little bit more help.
We
Okay,
literally
then.
turned around and killed them.
You're doing great, you're doing great, you're doing great. Sweetheart, you're doing great.
He's Genji's. What do we? You can see him right there. Kill him right now. Thank you.
More no fade.
Oh, this is very.
No fade from
This is
her.
very not good. I'm getting so altered. I'm so dead. What the freak? How come it feels like foreskin is Widowooey not healing? I'm Widowooey not getting healed. Alright, this diva should be dying.
We'll kill her.
That's my bad. I could kill him faster.
Sorry.
Oh my god, she Widowooey that. Kill the Mercy, kill the Mercy. Why would you not kill the
That's a
freaking
big
Mercy?
Big beat?
Kill the supports, they're both in the cage!
They got caged
Moira!
so hard. That's fucking sexy. Yeah, that Doomfist is really low.
He's
So is that
blocking, he's
Genji.
blocking.
Yeah, Doomfist is really low still.
I got him!
Doomfist dead. I'm
Literally
throwing a little
dead.
TP on them, and I'm throwing all these. Be very careful.
That was scary.
Yeah. Yep, I can't kill that character. She's flying this guy.
I
Genji
am
won?
going on the supports. I'm literally...
Genji won, Genji won.
destroying
Genji
them.
absolutely won.
Ready for more? I can get you more.
If I had a nickel for each time someone used this joke, I have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Finally, after one last match on Junkertown, the shackles freed me from this cursed challenge, and for a little while, from this cursed role. It's also very funny that this game ended with someone saying, "The day Mauga isn't meta will be a good one. Man needs a rework hardcore." And someone else chiming in with "needs to be deleted." Yes, random Overwatch player. Yes. After 24 hours of gameplay, I can say I've definitely added Mauga to my tool belt of characters, so I can use the giant, should I ever need to. After all this playtime, what are my final thoughts? Mauga is an incredibly tanky, high damage dealing powerhouse, capable of ripping through teams and farming the purest of salt on the market. He is also a microcosm of the issues with Overwatch, especially with tanks, both in how shitty it feels to play and how shitty it can be to play against a broken tank. I feel for sure, having played so long, that it's the role itself, not necessarily the tanks within it. Being the sole point of contact for like every ability in the game, and also being the only one on a team meant to take space, places a lot of responsibility on the tank alone, and it just doesn't feel like the role can handle it anymore. I really didn't want this video to be so negative. Like, what a start to a series, huh? Make a whole video about how tank sucks. That's a good way to get people excited for more. Come on, we all know it as Overwatch players though. It's unavoidable. Other people hate this character way more than many others for sure. I guarantee the next time I do this, there won't be nearly as many complaints from the enemy based on my character. I probably won't get any complaints actually, if I'm honest. Here, if I do get a complaint about it in the next video, I'll slap a crown clown nose on my profile picture. I'll be Clownunixia for a whole month. Overall though, Mauga feels incredibly strong, but weakens the mentality of anyone who plays him, and those who play against him. I agree with these people. He's not even at his strongest in the moment. The worst that they could do at this point, I'd say, is like Giga buff him or something, but I doubt they do that knowing what's happened before. Oh, come on, Blizzard!